Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Yosenju deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one because it's been a long time since I've actually been able to do Yosenju deck, and they just got new support with the new Pendulum support, which I'm really excited to show you guys because I am including a lot of the new Pendulum support in this deck. And you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Pendulums, but I really like what they did with this deck. So I really wanted to play around with the Pendulum stuff because it's a little bit different than what Yosenjus were, where it was just normal summon, normal summon, normal summon, attack, attack, attack. Like, this time it's actually Pendulum summon everything out and attack and return stuff to the hand. So it actually has a gimmick to it now besides just boring normal summons. So I'm really excited to show you guys this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing one copy of my Yosenju Debak. Debak is really a good one-of in the deck. I probably wouldn't play it at any more than one. Its Pendulum Scale is when a Yosenju monster you control declares an attack. You can have that attacking monster gain 300 attack until the end of the battle phase. But that's not where we usually put it, is in the Pendulum Zone. I never put this card in the Pendulum Zone. I always special summon it with a Pendulum Summon. And this card's Pendulum Summon cannot be negated. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target up to 2 cards on the field, return those targets to the hand, and during the end phase, if this card was special summoned this turn, you have to return it to the hand. But a 3k beat stick that returns 2 things to the hand for being Pendulum Summon is extremely powerful. And it works really good with the other Yosenju, which is my Yosenju Hitoi. But basically its effect is that you can target a Yosenju card in your other Pendulum Zone for the rest of the turn. Its Pendulum Scale becomes 11, which is really good to be able to just bounce them from 3 to 11. And we do play a couple of Pendulum Scales in the deck. But basically what it does is after that, you can Pendulum Summon, and during the end phase, return this card to your hand if it's in the Pendulum Zone. And it's a monster effect, is it cannot be special summoned except by Pendulum Summon. And this card is normal or special summon. You can target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Each time a card is returned to the hand or main deck by a card effect, while this card's on the field, all Yosenju monsters gain 500 attack. And then once returned during the end phase, if this card was special summoned, return it to the hand. Which is not that big of a deal because you just can continue to Pendulum Summon out, and we play a bunch of cards to protect them anyways. So for the old school Yosenjus, we're playing 2 copies of Kama 1. Kama 1 is basically if this card's normal summon, you can immediately after this card resolves, normal summon another Yosenju monster from your hand. And then you can target a card, 1 face-up card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. It works really good with my Yosenju Hitoi. It really works really well with that because it just boosts all your Yosenjus up by a lot. Then we played 2 copies of Kama 2. I thought about dropping Kama 2 down to 1. Basically, it can attack directly by halving its attack, and when it's normal summon, you can normal summon another Yosenju. And then I played 2 copies of Kama 3. The reason I bumped all of these down is because I'm playing more towards the Pendulums, and so I wanted to play 2 Sabo and 3 Izana, or Izan. And this card, basically, if a Yosenju monster deals battle damage, you can add a Yosenju card from your deck to your hand, which is going to happen all the time. And if this card is normal summon, you can immediately, after it's normal summon another Yosenju. Then I play 2 copies of Sabo. This one works really well with the Pendulums because its effect is that once returned during the end phase, if it's normal summon, return it to the hand. All the Yosenjus basically share that ability, that if they're normal summon, you return them to the hand. And you can only use the following effects of Yosenju Sabo once per turn. If it's normal summon, and if you control another Yosenju card, you can add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, 1 Yosenju Pendulum monster, and then you can target a Yosenju card you control, place a Dizzying Wind of the Yosen Village, or Yosen Whirlwind, which we don't play either one of those, which is not a big deal, because basically we're just searching for that Pendulum monster, which is, all we ever really need. Then I play 3 copies of Izana, whatever you want to say. It's basically like a hand trap. During the main phase, if it's normal summon, you return it to the hand, and then you can discard this card. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a Yosenju monster is normal summon, and if you control another Yosenju monster while this card's on the field, you can draw a card. So you can either activate either one of those effects, but that's really important to be able to block your opponent from, negating your Pendulum summons, and it's really important to be able to do that, because if you don't, your opponent's going to, steam through you, and they're going to just stop your Pendulum summons with something like something like, what's it called? Solemn Judgment or something like that. Then I play 2 copies of the L pole and 1 copy of the R pole. Basically, these are just here for their scales. This one lets me change the other one to 11. And then this one, or if you control Yosenju card in your other Pendulum Zone, you can make this card's Pendulum Scale 11, and this one's just a Scale 3. So basically that's the only reason they're there, is to just bounce their scale levels. And then I play an old throwback to what old Yosenju players used to play, and that's 3 copies of Psyframe Gear Gamma for my hand traps, and 1 copy of Driver, because these really work well, because if you don't control a monster, which all of your Yosenjus just return to the hand during the end phase, you can special summon this if your opponent activates a monster effect, which this can actually negate hand traps, and it special summons a Driver, and then during the end phase you have to banish the face-up monster special summoned by this effect. So you banish this and the Driver, which is not that big of a deal because the Driver can be special summoned from anywhere. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the trap, or the spells. I play a couple of traps in here, but we're not there yet. So first off, since you guys know I'm Double or Nothing Duelist, or Dark Arm Duelist, I play 1 copy of Double or Nothing because we play so many level 4s, it's so easy to go into Double or Nothing Utopia Double. 1 copy of Wind Worship. Wind Worship is if you control 3 or more Yosenju monsters with different names, return as many Yosenju monster cards you control to your hand as possible, then draw until you have 5 in your hand. So if you have 0 in your hand and you have 3 on the field, you can activate this, return 3 to the hand, and then draw 2. At the most, you're going to get at least a draw 1. That's why you only play 1 copy of it, because it's not optimal to return all your Yosenjus to your hand, so it's just a good one of. In rare occasions. 2 copies of Yosenju Orshi Channeling. Basically what this does is if you control no monsters, you can activate one of these effects. Either add a level 5 or higher Yosenju monster from your deck to your hand, or place an L and an R pole from your deck in the Pendulum Zone, but destroy them during your opponent's next end phase, which is still good because you're getting the L and the R pole out of the deck to put them on the field. And then we play 3 copies of Pot of Duality. If you want to, I don't play Pot of Extravagance in here because I go for more of a budget build. But you can play Pot of Extravagance in here if you want to, by dropping out maybe the Driver and the 3 copies of, the 3 copies of the extra deck thing, Psyframe Gear Gamma, this, and playing 3 Ash. And then dropping basically this, a copy of Izana, and a copy of Hitoi, or Hito, or whatever it is. You can drop these 3 if you want to play Extravagance, and play Ash Blossoms over this if you want to go that route. That's totally up to you guys. I don't want to play Pot of Extravagance because it's a $70 card right now. But that's just my opinion. So then we play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. Fire Formation Tenki is basically here because it lets us add a Beast Warrior monster from our deck to our hand. That's why it's not that big of a deal that we just play 1 of each Yosenju 1, 2, and 3, because you can activate Tenki and grab any of them that you want from your deck. So it's like you're playing extra copies of them. And then finally, I play 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is extremely important here because you can activate this and then negate hand traps. And we don't like getting hand trapped. Ever. So that's really important. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So we do play a couple of traps in this deck. So for the traps we're playing 1 copy of Macrocosmos because I'm not really concerned ever in Yosenjus if my stuff gets managed. It's not that big of a deal. It hurts my opponent a lot more than it hurts me. 1 copy of Yosen Secret Move. Yosen Secret Move is basically when a spell or trap or a monster effect is activated while you control at least 1 Yosenju card, and all face-up monsters you control are Yosenju monsters. Negate the activation if you do destroy it. This card's really important for stuff like Nibiru and, other cards like that. But a lot of times, if you know your opponent is playing Nibiru, you just normal summon your Yosenjus, you don't special summon them out. And then your opponent tries to preemptively Nibiru you because they're like, oh, you special summon. I'm like, no, I normal summoned. And then you know they have it. And then I play 3 copies of Yosenju's Sword Sting. This card is really good because if you control no monsters, reveal up to 2 Yosenju monsters with different names in your hand, and then target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls and return them to the hand. This card is super good for disruption of your opponent. Just special summoning, or they special summon a bunch of cards, and then at their end phase, you flip this and you go reveal 2, bounce to hand, and you're like, well, crap, now I don't have the stuff that I just set up. Or you can interrupt them in the middle of something like a Gar Dragon combo, returning like a Garpain to hand or returning like LP or Pisty to their deck. This card is really good as a 3-of in the deck. It's like double compulse, which is super good. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 1 copy of the Wind Charmer because it's good in all wind decks. 2 copies of Great Fly. This card is really good because it boosts all your Yosenju monsters up by 500 because they're all wind. Nightmare Unicorn because it bounces stuff. And Boral Sword because it can OTK your opponent. And it's really easy to get 4 monsters on the field. Cyframe Lord Omega because we do play the Gamma and the Driver. Exiton Knight just to blow board if we need to blow board. That is an option if we want to. I play the Utopia the Lightning package, which is Utopia the Lightning, Utopia Prime, and Utopia, which basically you just make Utopia and then Prime and then Lightning, and it makes a 5,000 beater that can attack twice. Utopia for the second Utopia engine, which is Utopia and Utopia Double, because you want to be able to go in Utopia Double and OTK your opponent for 10,000 attack points, which is crazy. And then I play the copies of Gustav Max, Juggernaut Libby, Juggernaut Super Dora, and then Juggernaut Libby. I just lost my mind right there. To be able to go into a 6,000 beat stick, which is extremely easy to do if you summon 2 of these. It's really easy to go into if you just summon any 2 of these monsters. If you summon Debok and Hitoi, you can just special summon these 2, overlay for, Juggernaut Libby, and then they don't return to the hand, and then you can OTK your opponent really easily, which is just an option if you want to. Usually I don't go into Juggernaut Libby, but if you want to drop this and play something else, like more rank 4s or more Link monsters, you can totally drop this. I just highly recommend playing the Utopia engine in here. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a super fun deck to play around with. I know I say that a lot, but it is, and it's relatively budget for the main deck, to be perfectly honest with you. This is another really budget main deck if you don't play Extravagance. Now, you can play Extravagance if you have them, and it will jump the cost of the deck up considerably. But if you're just playing the deck to play the deck, this is a good way to play it if you're a budget player. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad. Tell me what you think of this video down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.